placed on the empty seat. The man turns, and I realize my mistake. He is not young at all. He must be in his late 30s or maybe older. His hair is not fair either, but light brown, finely streaked with white, as if he's had highlights from some expensive Bond Street hair salon. He mumbles a greeting. I nod, hoping this won't be interpreted as an invitation to begin a conversation. After handing his carry-on luggage to a flight attendant to stow at the back of the plane, he sits down with a sigh. I engross myself in my book, reading the same paragraph twice without taking in any of it. Then I steal a sideways look at my companion, at the same time that he is sneaking a look at me. He smiles disarmingly. I smile back but don't put down my novel. The plane begins to taxi along the runway, and in a few moments we are airborne. Below is the shimmering snake of the River Thames, and row after row of houses, an ever-expanding vista. One of those is mine, my little terrace in Kentish Town. Soon we are swooping into a thick white bank of cloud and upwards into a blazing blue, and London has gone. I try to read, but again, I'm not taking it in. The man next to me has extracted something from his briefcase, a hardback book. Without turning my head, I glance at its cover but can't make out the title. He turns it so I can read the dust jacket, and we both laugh. It's the new novel by Peter Carey. We have left England far behind and are flying over water. The sea, solid like a piece of frosted glazing, is patterned with fine ripples. A few ships are dotted in the distance, like flies squashed on the glass. The sun glints off the surface, glittering and gold-rimmed. "Would you like lunch, madam?" The flight attendant holds out a tray as if she is offering rations to a particularly ill-favoured animal in a zoo. I decline. I ate at the airport and am not hungry. But the man next to me whispers, "I'll have it if you don't want it. I'm starving." At once I tell the flight attendant that I have changed my mind, and she passes me the tray. My neighbour thanks me profusely and makes a start on his lunch. As he opens his water cup, he says, "You're not a biologist, are you? I know there are a few on this flight." He has a pleasant voice, more resonant than deep. It seems to vibrate from the centre of his chest. I nod and offer him my quiche. He transfers it onto his tray. "So you're going to the same conference as me," he says. "I haven't seen you on the conference circuit." I haven't been to many international ones. This is only my second.
I travel quite a lot. Too much, really, but it's part of the job. Why so few conferences for you?
I'm a single mother. I watch for his reaction. I've grown to enjoy the male retreat on learning this information. It's a way of preserving my independence and my cynicism.
That must be hard.
His tone is matter-of-fact. The piece of information I've given him means nothing to him. He takes a large mouthful of quiche. He eats quickly, as do people who are used to institutional food. Probably he was educated at a boarding school, a posh one at that. For a moment I consider telling him about my daughter Charlie, but think better of it. When he is finished, he puts down his knife and fork. He smiles and asks about my children. Only one child, I tell him, and soon find myself explaining how hard it is to get away to conferences, although my daughter is a dream and has never caused me any trouble, at least not yet. He seems interested, so I tell him that she's 17 and doing her A-levels.
"You look too young to have a teenage daughter,"
he says. This is the usual response, the conventional response. He is being gallant, as they always are. But today I am pleased. It's as if I gave away my skepticism with my quiche barely 5 minutes ago. I explain that I had my daughter when I was 20. I don't want him to think I'm older than I am.
"You look much younger than 37,
he says. I see you're good at sums. I pass him the tired-looking chocolate mousse from my lunch tray. Probably I've been talking too much. I resolve not to say any more about Charlie. While he polishes off his second dessert, I speculate on his family background. He will have a charming professional wife, a lawyer perhaps, and 2 beautiful children whose digital pictures